Have you ever noticed how people born in the 2000s seem to carry a completely different energy than any generation before them? They're simultaneously the most connected and the most isolated generation in history. They grew up with smartphones in their hands, but somehow feel lonelier than kids who had nothing but bicycles and imagination. But here's what's fascinating. Their psychology isn't broken, it's adapted, and understanding it might change how you see an entire generation. People who grew up in the 2000s experienced something no other generation ever has. They lived through the birth of social media during their most formative years. When your brain is still developing and you're figuring out who you are, every post becomes a performance. Every photo becomes a comparison. Every notification becomes a dopamine hit your mind starts craving. But this created something psychologists are calling digital native syndrome. Their brains learn to process validation through screens before they learn to find it in real relationships. That's why they can have 300 followers but still feel completely unseen. They're fluent in online connection but struggle with face-to-face intimacy. It's not their fault. It's how their neural pathways formed. Then there's the paradox of infinite choice. Previous generations had limited options for everything: career paths, entertainment, even who to date was restricted by geography. But 2000s kids grew up believing they could be anything, do anything, go anywhere. Sounds amazing, right? Except psychologically, too many options create paralysis. When everything is possible, nothing feels significant. That's why so many of them feel lost, despite having more opportunities than any generation before. There's also something called accelerated maturity, mixed with extended adolescence. They witnessed global crises, school shootings, climate change discussions, and political chaos through social media before they even hit high school. So mentally, they matured fast. But economically and socially, they are staying dependent longer. Living with parents, delaying major life decisions, postponing traditional milestones. Their minds grew up quickly, but their life timelines slowed down. And here's the part that might surprise you. Despite all the criticism they get, this generation might be the most emotionally intelligent we've ever seen. They talk about mental health, boundaries, and self-care in ways that would have been impossible for previous generations. They're redefining success, prioritizing authenticity over achievement, and questioning systems that older generations accepted without thought. So maybe the psychology of people who grew up in the 2000s isn't something to fix. Maybe it's something to understand. They're not damaged, they're different. And that difference might be exactly what the world needs.